The JoLynn Braley Show, episode 27. Depressed about your weight? She was too, but not anymore. Hello and welcome. This is JoLynn Braley, weight loss mindset expert and founder of the Inner Self Diet, and this is the JoLynn Braley Show. Join me on today's show as I go beyond the food to the real issue. What is the real issue? Your mindset. How do you know that your mindset is the real issue? Well, when you already know that you need to live a healthy and fit lifestyle, feed your body healthy foods, exercise regularly, and all of that wonderful stuff that goes along with having the body of your dreams and maintaining it. When you already know all of that, you know what to do, but you're not doing it, then you know that you have a mindset problem. You see, mindset is 90% of the solution. If what you crave is permanent, lasting success with your weight. If you would love to leave all of your food and weight struggles behind you, then what you've got to do is shift your mindset significantly at the core level. Once you accomplish this, which is what I do with my inspiring, wonderful clients in the Inner Self Diet, then you are able to leave your emotional eating, your binge eating, your night eating, stuffing yourself, obsessing about food, negative self-talk, the beating yourself up that you do because you just can't start, you can't stick with it, and then you can't keep going, the self-sabotage, the perfectionism, the black and white thinking, anything and everything that you're doing to yourself right now that is keeping you overweight and overeating. Once you have a core weight loss mindset, then all of that becomes a thing of the past. And what is so important is that you have the tools to maintain that mindset for life. Yes, it is a lifestyle to feed your mind before your body. And as long as you attend to the 90% of the problem and therefore the solution, which is your mindset, then the 10%, which is how you eat and exercise, that becomes very simple. It becomes easy. And how could that possibly be? Because you are the only one who is in your way right now. And it's all about your inner self, what you've got going on in your mindset. And once you have done what you need to do, the proven steps on the inside, so that you become the woman that you want to be on the outside, you must become that first on the inside, or the man. I mainly attract awesome, successful, very smart women to work with, but also I have worked with a couple cool men, and they're fantastic too. In fact, Dave is one of the big success stories. He dropped 90 pounds without any struggle after becoming a graduate of my proven step-by-step system, which is the Inner Self Diet. Once you do the steps that you need to do to get that core weight loss mindset, then the 10%, again, the 10% is how you eat and exercise. That becomes easy to do because you're no longer fighting yourself, you're no longer sabotaging yourself, you're no longer doing the things that you do today that keep you overweight. You wouldn't even think of doing those things if you had the right mindset today. So, on today's show, this is all about the topic of, are you depressed about your weight? Hey, there's millions of people out there who are depressed about their weight, so if you are, then you're not alone. I used to feel like that myself. And what we're going to do today is we are going to listen to a wonderful, inspiring graduate of the Inner Self Diet. Her name is Laura. We're going to listen to her to see what she has to say about her experience with what it was like before she changed her inner self, before she changed her mindset. And what is the purpose of listening to someone else go from depression to struggle-free weight loss and tell you about it in their own words? Well, one of the main purposes is to give yourself hope that you can have the same thing, because the truth is that if one person out there in the universe can do something that you want to do, then you can do it too. Let's just go ahead and hear what Laura has to say in her own words.
Hello, this is JoLynn Braley, the FAT Release Coach, and I'm on the call here today with one of my clients, Laura from New Jersey. Hi, Laura.
Hi, JoLynn.
Hi, welcome. I'm really, really glad you're here. Laura has some things to share today for the purpose of helping others to know that you don't have to stay stuck in the struggle. And Laura has just completed my step-by-step proven system, the Inner Self Diet, and she has made leaps and bounds and strides and progress, and she has just come so, so far from where she was when we first started working together. And I'm just really, really excited that you're here, Laura. Thank you very much.
Thank you, JoLynn.
You're welcome. Sometimes the folks aren't always used to being interviewed, but you get to be the star here, and I'm interviewing you, so I'm just really excited about it. My first question for you, though, Laura, is before we ever met, going all the way back to that time, what was your biggest challenge back then? What was it like for you regarding food, your weight, your body, that whole topic?
Well, before we met, before I started on this course with you, I had trouble getting up in the morning. I had trouble getting through the day without thinking about my body, my weight, what I was going to eat, how much I was going to eat. I had trouble focusing on everyday life. I had trouble being comfortable with eating anything.
Thank you so much for your honesty. I know without a doubt that there's someone listening to this right now and listening to you who completely is where you used to be. And I appreciate you being so honest.
Oh, it's easy for me to talk about that now.
Now it is, right? Because you're no longer there.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what I'd like to hear next is, so what is it like for you today? You know, here you started out depressed and hardly able to get through the day just because everything was about food, about the body, and now here you are today. What's it like for you today?
Today is wonderful. I mean, every day, I'll be honest, every day is so much better than it was before, but that's not to say that I don't have to make an effort to choose to be in a positive place. I definitely to make the choice of being in that positive mindset to where I want to be. I mean, going through the course with you has helped me to let go of that struggle, and it has helped me to focus on being healthy and being happy. So while I understand now that I accept the fact that not every day is, I accept now that there are imperfections, and I'm really okay with that. It's just a matter of choosing how I deal with them. I can choose to be happy, and that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, and good for you, because you're completely correct that you do have to make an effort to decide and choose to be in that place. But the big thing is that now you actually have the tools to enable yourself to continue to not just, even going beyond a weight loss mindset, having the mindset to maintain your body with ease and maintain your life.
Yes, that's completely true, because I was the kind of person that would research constantly if I could have. But whenever I could, I was always researching the newest diet, what to eat, when to eat, what are other people doing, what are the exercises people are doing, what is that pill doing for that person, what is the best way to get rid of the fat, what's the best way to exercise in combination with the diet, and flip-flopping, and that's exhausting. That was exhausting. And the thing is, there's so many self-help things out there for people, but it really came down to the mindset. There was just no way I could have been where I am right now without the tools that you've given me. There's no way.
Well, good. And I have to stress the fact, though, that you actually used those tools. That's how you got to where you are now, where you're feeling so wonderful and you're saying every day is wonderful, and you know how to maintain that mindset, though, because if the tools are great, obviously they work, but you worked them, and that is very important to point out.
Oh, that's extremely important to point out. I mean, I started with one tool. You gave us one thing to do each day and increased the number of tools in our toolbox, like our tool belt. And it's very helpful to be able to choose the tools. And, yeah, you definitely have to, I definitely have to use them to get to that place.
Mm-hmm.
It's like having a wound and you're seeing the Band-Aids, but you're not using the Band-Aids if they're not doing you any good if they stay in the box.
Right. That's a good analogy, a good metaphor. I like that. Yeah. And we were talking about this earlier, and I'd love to hear you share this for the public so they can hear it if you would like to. What most people are focused on, and folks who are listening to this probably it's where their focus is, and it's where yours used to be. Everybody wants to know, how much weight did you lose? How much weight did you lose? What about the weight loss? I got to get the fat off. Let's get the fat off. So how would you answer that? How many pounds of fat have you dropped since you started this journey here to a weight loss mindset and struggle-free weight loss?
Well, I understand, number one. That's how I used to be. I wanted to know, is this effective? How much weight have you lost? Because I need to know, because that's really, really important to me. But I'll tell you that is not a priority for me anymore. Yes, being healthy is my goal, and because people want to know, I have lost at least 10 pounds using this system, but struggle-free. That's the key. Before, I was putting myself through my own hell, with making myself throw up and doing a lot of unhealthy things, taking pills, doing cleansing diets, and that wasn't working. Place where I'm worry-free about it, and I'm enjoying being healthy and doing what's right for my body with the pounds coming off.
Laura, didn't you tell me on our very first conversation that that's what you wanted, is you didn't want to worry about it anymore?
Yes, because it was consuming my mind at work, before I went to sleep, when I woke up. It was just always there. And I was afraid that I couldn't get rid of it.
Mhm.
And
now
you did. I did. And when it first started happening, I was listening for those voices. Where are they? They're not there anymore. And it was fantastic. It was just such a relief to be able to focus on my work, to focus on other things, my relationships, to focus on just having fun and enjoying life.
And speaking of your work, you just reminded me of something. Of course, you came to this journey, you came to do the Inner Self diet and work through this journey with me as your coach and mentor because you wanted to lose weight, but you've had so many other transformations along the way. And what was your biggest surprise transformation as a result of doing this work here?
My biggest transformation was that I got a new job. And
yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I did use your tools. I did use the tools to come to make that decision to help me through that process. And my biggest transformation is that the rest of my life is transforming because of the tools. They're helping me feel better about all aspects of my life. And my relationships with my coworkers are improving. My relationships with my friends and my family are improving. I'm meeting new people. I'm comfortable meeting new people. And this is all happening because I'm focusing on how I'm feeling. It's whereas before I was trying to force everything, trying to force myself to meet new people, force myself to do, to get that new job. And that's the biggest takeaway from all of this is that same behavior that I had with the weight and the food and the exercise, that's how I was dealing with a lot of other things.
Wow. What can you say to that, huh? Except congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Laura, what would you say? Imagine that there's a woman right now listening to this, listening to you, and she is where you used to be. Right now, she is very depressed. She feels exhausted. She's looking on the Internet constantly for the next new diet tips, exercise tips. She's doing cleanses, and she's abusing her body after overeating, and she just is where you used to be. What would you say to her right now?
If you're listening, I would say you need to work with JoLynn. If there was ever a time in your life to ask for help, to accept it, now is the time. It's okay to accept that help, and it's okay that you need it. I thought I didn't need it. I thought I could do it all on my own. But I learned that in this life, it's okay to accept help for things. It really is. It's just unbelievable how far I've come and how I was in that place. And I never thought I was going to get out of that place. But I'm telling you that this is it. This is your key. If you want to release that struggle, if you want to enjoy your life, you want to get back to how you felt before your struggle, or if you've always had it, you need to work with JoLynn.
Well, and for that person who's listening right now and is inspired by what you shared here, Laura, the way that you would get on that path that Laura has just taken, you do exactly the same thing that she did. Oh, and this is so interesting. I would love to hear you share this also, but first let me just say that what you would do to do what Laura did is take the first step and fill out an application for a weight loss discovery session with me, and you can do that at fearlessfatloss.com/call, and that's a complimentary application and a complimentary call. Those are scheduled on a first-come, first-served basis, and there are a limited number of slots that are available for those calls. So you want to make sure that you completely fill that application out with all of your details. But before we go, I was just reminded of something when I was sharing that, and if you would like to share it, Laura, anything you'd want to say to anyone who maybe they've been on my email easing list for a while, or maybe they've been listening to the other recordings of other folks that I've worked with. They've read all the different testimonials, and they just keep looking and reading, and the time is going by. What would you, do you have any personal experience with that, or anything you'd like to share?
Yes, I do. And yes, thank you for reminding me of that. For those of you that are doing that and keep reading and keep thinking about doing it, I did the same thing. I read about JoLynn, and I, took the step to set up the call with her, and I just kept letting things get in my way and kept changing the time, and I said, I could do this on my own. I don't need this. It was a year later, 1 year later, that I called JoLynn, and I contacted JoLynn and set up the call to go through this course. And over that year, things didn't get better; they got worse. So that vicious cycle got worse, and nothing changed.
Well, and there you go. Thank you so much for sharing that, Laura. It just, I remembered that, and I remember you saying before that was, it was really important. You were sharing that with somebody else, and I agree. And, there just really isn't any tomorrow, because when tomorrow comes, it's today. And today is a day that you told yourself yesterday that you'd finally do something different. And here you are. So thank you so much, Laura, for answering these questions, for being so very, very honest, and for sharing with the listeners out there where you were and then where you are now. And again, for those who are serious about getting the results that Laura has gotten, then you can fill out that application at fearlessfatloss.com/call. Thank you, Laura, and congratulations again.
Thank you, JoLynn.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, Laura pointed out several very important things there, and to me, it's very, very inspiring, as I expect it is to you also, to hear a person who went from having a hard time getting through the day and focusing because of such a food obsession and obsession with the body and the weight, to go from that to every day being better and better, to loving her life and not even being focused now on what that scale says, which for many who are struggling with their weight, and I know what this is like because I had done that in the past, the scale determines how you feel. And that is a great example of living by reaction, and that is not how folks live who have a weight loss mindset. So Laura just had some wonderful things to share there, and she has come leaps and bounds with her progress. And we also have to give her credit for the fact that this did not happen by magic. She did the steps. She did the work with the proven steps of my step-by-step system, and she got the results. And one other thing that I find most interesting and is very, very helpful for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of folks who right now, just like you, are struggling with your weight, you keep telling yourself that tomorrow you'll be different, or tomorrow you'll get it together, or on Monday you'll get it together, or on New Year's Day you'll get it together, or on next year you'll get it together. But actually you never tell yourself that you'll get it together next year. It's always tomorrow. And the fact is that tomorrow never comes. Today is the day that you told yourself yesterday would be the day that you'd finally take action. But what you don't know is what you don't know. And that is where you get really stuck because you don't know what you don't know. And you cannot move beyond the struggle that's within you and just make yourself do something that you're not in alignment with, which is why you continue to tell yourself you'll do it tomorrow. But just like you heard Laura said, she told herself that she could just figure it out on her own and just do it on her own and make it up somehow, and her experience was just like the same for everyone else. Things don't get better. They just either continue the same or they continue to compound in interest and get worse. And why is that? Just simply because of the fact that when you keep doing the same things that you're doing right now that already aren't working, there's not going to be some magic that changes and makes the things that you're doing suddenly work. If what you're doing isn't giving you the results of struggle-free, permanent weight loss, if what you're doing isn't giving you the mindset that makes you excited to get up every day and hopeful about each day as you open your eyes and you're excited and you're anticipating all of the good things that are going to come, and you're excited to put your clothes on and walk around in your body, and you're not hiding out, you're not hiding from life or hiding your body or hiding behind the computer or anything like that. You're actually living full out and enjoying your life in your ideal body. If the things you're doing right now aren't giving you those results, then you have to do something different if you want different results. That's the thing. If you want to get different results, you've got to do something different, which is how it is for all things in life, not just weight loss. It's time for a commercial break, and today's sponsor is fearlessfatloss.com. fearlessfatloss.com/call, CALL, is where you can apply for a complimentary weight loss discovery session, just like Laura did, to get on the path to your own struggle-free permanent weight loss. You can do that at fearlessfatloss.com/call. Or if you're not serious about achieving these outstanding results and you just want to learn more, that's okay. You can grab my free 5-day e-course at fearlessfatloss.com and learn more about a weight loss mindset and what's really been stopping you from losing weight for good. You can do all of that over at fearlessfatloss.com. fearlessfatloss.com/call is the place to apply for the complimentary weight loss discovery session if you're tired of telling yourself you're going to do it tomorrow. Okay, some questions to ask yourself today. On each episode of the JoLynn Braley Show, I give you questions that you can write down, pen on paper. If you only listen to my voice and you attempt to do this in your head, you will not get the benefit that you could get from actually doing these steps of writing the questions down and then answering them for yourself. So the first question is, what was your biggest aha from anything that Laura had to share? What was your biggest aha from what Laura had to share today? Just write down whatever that is. And the number 2 question, how often do you tell yourself that you can just do it on your own, but then you keep doing that and then the years go by and you're not getting anywhere? So how often do you do that? Do you do that every Sunday and tell yourself that, well, tomorrow, Monday, will be different and I can just power through this on my own and somehow I'll figure it out? But then all those Mondays, 52 Mondays in a year, you get to the end of the year and you're either the same weight or heavier, or maybe you drop 10 pounds but you gain 20. So how often do you do this to yourself, where you're telling yourself that you can just do it on your own and you'll change tomorrow? And then after you write that number down, write down the answer to this question. What are the results that I'm getting from doing this to myself? What are the results I am getting from doing this to myself? Why is it important to ask yourself these questions and write down the answers? Because it's very easy to get caught up in your day-to-day life and just run around doing everything for everyone else, and then you're not even aware of all of the days, weeks, months, years that are ticking by, and you're still not in the body that you want to be in. You're not happy with the body you're in, and it's not adding to your quality of life. So how much longer do you want to continue like that? That's the last question. How much longer do you want to continue like that? And at the very least, answering these questions for yourself, they're going to help you to gain clarity on where you're at, gain clarity on what you want for yourself. No one else can determine for you what kind of body you are going to live in, what kind of life you're going to live. No one else can determine for you what the state of your bank account is. No one else can determine for you the state of your relationships. Believe it or not, everything starts with you. So if there's anything in your life that you're not happy with, baby, it's all about you. And what's exciting about this fact is that once you transform you transform your inner self so that then your outer self transforms with ease, then everything else transforms. I can't tell you how many wonderful people I've worked with who came to me for weight loss, and then their marriages transformed, their friendships transformed, the relationship with their parents transformed. All of these wonderful outcomes, like you heard Laura talk about, she got a new job. I mean, these are things that you would not be thinking about when it comes to weight loss. But in order to get permanent, struggle-free, lasting success with your weight, you have to go to the root of the problem, and the root of the problem is a life issue. It's not about the food, and it's not about the weight. The extra weight that you have on your body is just a symptom of your life issue, and once that core root of that is solved, then the easiest thing for you to do will be to live a healthy and fit lifestyle. That will be the least of your concerns. And that's just how it is. So, shout outs. To get a shout out from me on the JoLynn Braley Show, here's how you do it. Go to thejolynnbraeleyshow.com. thejolynnbraeleyshow.com and click like on our Facebook page, and I'll give you a shout out on an upcoming show. It's fun, and I only use your first names only, and the way that you get that shout out, once again, is go to thejolynnbraeleyshow.com, click like to like our Facebook page, and you'll get a shout out on an upcoming episode. Also, that is where you'll get updates from me and other fun, inspiring updates. Okay, let's take a look at what you learned today. One thing you learned from Laura is that things don't get better when you wait and you keep doing the same things over and over and over again that you're already doing, those things that are already not working for you. Things get worse, and that is a great example of momentum. That's how it works in this universe. You've either got a positive momentum going or a negative momentum, and if you continue to struggle with your weight, that will continue to build in momentum. What's exciting is that once you learn how to break out of that, and that's all done through your inner self, then you can get on the wheel of positive momentum, and then things will get better and better, just like you heard Laura also say that every day is getting better and better. Something else you learned today, also from Laura, you deserve to get help when you need the help. How do you know that you need the help? You know you need help when you're not getting the results that you want on your own. You also know that you need help if you want to get the results in your mind and body in the least amount of time possible, instead of trying to piece together some kind of a piecemeal system for yourself over the next 10-20 years. I tried to do that myself in the past, and it never worked. So the quickest and easiest way to get what you want in the least amount of time possible is to just do the steps that others have already done before you and get the results they've gotten. If you want struggle-free permanent weight loss like Laura has gotten, then go to fearlessfatloss.com/call and fill out an application for a complimentary weight loss discovery session if you are totally serious about leaving your struggles in the past. And one last thing that you learned today is that you really can break out of the depression and you really can enjoy your life. You don't have to continue to be depressed about your weight. You don't have to live in depression. You don't have to live with the struggle. There's no reason that you need to be there, and there's a way out, but you have to take action to get out of it. So, be sure and go to the JoLynnBraleyShow.com and click like on our Facebook page. You'll get a shout out from me on an upcoming episode. And if you're subscribed in iTunes, go ahead and give the show a 5-star rating. That would be wonderful. On next week's show, the episode topic is 3 signs you have a food porn addiction. That's going to be a lot of fun. So this is JoLynn Braley, the FAT release coach, weight loss mindset expert, founder of the Inner Self Diet, and you've been listening to the JoLynn Braley Show. Here's to your best life in your ideal body.